to do that. Have we made it hard for ourselves? Yeah, we have. You know, there's 4 home games which we lost on the spin where it could have gone either way, and we could have significantly more points, which I feel would have been a fair reflection of where we are as a championship team. Now, when you look at where we've come from, like where we come from 2 years ago and what we were competing with and where we were in the league and the squad, the club and everything, then yeah, I'm extremely proud of that journey. That has culminated in Saturday beating Hull City, who are, you know, a fantastic football team and have promotion aspirations. But we've proved that we can compete with anyone at this level. It's just what we need to do now is add a bit more consistency, a little bit more quality, and then we can start making waves ourselves, like we did probably the first 15 games. So yeah, it has sunk in because it's a relief to have done it. But all it does is it gives you that platform to be able to move forward, because we now have to evolve. We have to get better, because I don't envisage, or I don't want us to be in this position where I want us to have stuff to play for going into the last 2 games of the season, but not what we had to play for in this week.
And when we need it, character, I think, and determination is never any question, but you've mentioned a few times, and you mentioned it there about sometimes maybe quality in the final third. And when we needed it on Saturday, 2 outstanding bits of quality was what decided the game. On reflection then, do you think if that had been a few more times, if we'd managed a few more times more, then we'd be certainly higher up the table and less stressful?
Yeah, we would be. And it's always stressful, regardless, because, you know, I'll have the same levels of stress on Saturday than I had against Hull City. I mean, that's just the way we built. But what we have to remember is, like, if we had narrowly missed out and on the playoffs, you know, we'd have been a wonderful side at League One level this year. We would have. We'd evolved. We'd have had more possession, more goals. You know, we'd have grown, but we didn't. We went into this monster, as I keep of a league, as I keep describing it. So you know, and we have to respect that, and we have to earn the right, one, to be in games, 2, earn the right to create chances, and then we have to take those chances. Now, there's a lot of teams in this league who have been at it, spending a significant amount of money trying to get out of this league and trying to build and evolve year in, year out. So, with the greatest respect, we have been fighting some monsters, like in terms of battling some monsters in everything, and I'm proud of that, because we go toe to toe, you know. And if you'd said anyone 2 years ago, right, okay, well, you will be toe to toe, going after, aggressive, front-footed against Leicester City, Sheffield United. Not a sane individual in South East London that wouldn't have taken that. So I'm proud of that. But this isn't the destination. This is only part of the journey.
Hope you don't mind me asking. We could have had a third on the Saturday with Jayden February. Couldn't quite get his second of the game. Were you upset that he didn't lay Therese in there, or were you more upset that he didn't lay you in on the left-hand side as you were approaching the penalty area?
I mean, I couldn't have gone any closer to giving the advice that he needed to pick the right things. Look, he did fantastically well, because he won the first ball, then he skipped past the defender. But he had 4 options. So we actually debriefed it this morning, and we were a little bit jovial with it. He had 4 options. And the one option that he chose was the only one he wasn't going to score from. So if he had, as he skipped past the goalkeeper, if he had just put it towards goal and let Tyrese Campbell have a straight race, then there's not many humans in South East London on that day would have kept him, and I would imagine Tyrese would have scored. If he had, as he goes past the keeper, shot early, he'd have had an open goal to do it with. And if right at the end he had just squared it, then we would have scored. What he didn't need to do was to dribble and dribble and dribble, wait for the guy to get back, then try to score, and then have it cleared off the line. That was the only way that he wasn't scoring. And unfortunately, that's the choice he took.
You mentioned just now about staying up and what we've achieved. I mean, in 2024, it's probably the worst in about 100 years of finishing for Charlton in any division and in the league. Next year we're promoted, and this year we maintain our championship status. In terms of what you've achieved, and you have achieved a lot, how does that rank?
I'm proud of where we are. I really am. I love our football club, and like the stress and the anxiety for me was because I love this place. I'm immersed in this place. I came here for a project to build something with a time scale for us to get to where we want to be in a certain time scale. Now that's dependent all the time on us keeping moving forward. First year we knew what we had to do, and we did it. The first six months. And we did that and finished strong with not my squad. That wasn't my squad. That squad was assembled. But to be fair to those, they responded to what I asked them to do and so on. Then the next year was a little bit more mine, and we had a wonderful year. Probably one of the greatest years of my life in terms of, and one of the most proudest years of my life, because we had some tough times, as I said in the speech after. We had times like Crawley and stuff like that, where a lot of people were wanting me out and thinking we could do what we were, but a lot bought into it, kept it, and then we showed our resilience, we showed our quality, we showed our experience, and got promoted. And then this year we've had to again dig deep. We've had to show our tactical awareness, because that goes unnoticed. Like, to be honest with you, how good we are tactically. Like, because we have a clear way of playing, clear way of doing stuff. We have a clear way of defending, and everyone knows that. Like, at times we come unstuck because teams have fantastic quality, but there's not a single team that plays us that goes, they were easy to play against. They were a breeze. That was the thing. We've had one or two where we got hurt, where we didn't let ourselves down, but generally we are, a really competitive team. What we have to do now is keep evolving.
So that was Nathan Jones speaking ahead of this afternoon's final fixture of the season. Alongside me now, and welcome, is Mr. Greg Stubley. Greg, good to have you alongside me this afternoon, and totally alongside me as well. And we're not breaking as usual, because Mr. Steve Brown is otherwise engaged in the sunnier climes of South Africa.
He's on a working trip.
Working trip, of which apparently golf clubs are essential.
Yeah, precautionary.
Absolutely, because every now and again you'll need something to keep you safe, and golf clubs are obviously the natural thing.
Well, certainly, yeah, definitely, and I hope he has
although not the way he swings.
I hope he has a busy trip. Let's put it that way. But yeah, it feels like a bit like old times.
It does a bit, doesn't it? Yes, and it's fitting and lovely the fact that we're reminiscing old times with absolutely nothing to worry about.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does make a change, and I think about the last time you and I came here. When it was New Year's Day, I believe, we had just announced that Matt Southall had been involved in the takeover, and yet
one of the more surreal trips.
And yet we also got told that it still hadn't passed the EFL, so it was a bit like, okay, that's not good.
It'll be in the book, won't it? At some point.
In the book. Yeah, there's been many a story, but my point being was there was so much nerve and tension going into that game compared to this one, where it felt a lot more relaxed. I think I'm interested to see what happens today. I think there's a lot of, judging by the lineup Nathan's given, I think he's trying to say thank you to a lot of the players that have performed for him over the last few weeks, which is completely understandable. There's a lot of experienced heads in the lineup today, and I know a lot of people would say, well, why is the likes of Ibby Fuller not starting? Why is the likes of Keenan Goff not starting? I can see both sides. I think Nathan's approaching this game as, you know what, these players have got to fight for their futures, maybe fighting for their futures with us. Wants to see them play a different way, or wants to see if they can play with a little bit more confidence in the final game of the season. Who knows? But he has gone with experience, and look, I think that's fair enough. I think it's been a tough second half of the year, but Saturday was fantastic. We all enjoyed Saturday. It was a brilliant performance. We deserved the win. 2 outstanding goals. For the crowd was great. It was a lovely sunny day, and it felt like, you know what, when you look at the end of the season, you go, you know what, we deserve to stay up. We had such a good start to the season where it definitely tailed off. There's no question about that. But the fact we didn't touch the relegation zone at all this season is a huge feat in itself, especially when you come up from League One. And we had a few poor results, no question about it, but you look at some of the other positive results we had, especially at the start of the season. I'm going to keep mentioning the start of the season, but Ipswich away, fantastic result. I know they could have been 2-3-0 up at the start. Doesn't matter, we won 3-0. Beating teams at home that, Watford at home first game of the season just felt fantastic, felt great to be back. Well, and I've really enjoyed the Championship this season. What I want to see next season is us develop into a team that plays a little bit more flair, plays a little bit more confidence going forward, that great chances. If we finish where we finished this season, I won't care as much. I think it's just a question of how can we establish ourselves so we're not worrying about what's below. I'm thinking about how can we continue to improve. If it means mid-table for the next few years, then so be it.
Yeah, I mean, and Nathan Jones mentioned it a lot this season. We're coming up against sides that have been established in the Championship. And it's excuse me, it's like any division. When you come up from the lower one, it's about establishing yourself first, and then maybe making an impact afterwards. Now there are some sides that have been able to do it straight away. Maybe sides that have a little bit more of a budget in the past than we've had. So it'll be an interesting season next season, no question. But you mentioned results, and if you look at the table now and the results we had at Southampton away, Middlesbrough away, and especially Ipswich away, it proves that we have done really well this season to compete with teams that have already been established in this division and teams with a lot bigger budgets than we have.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing with the Championship. That's why it is such a brutal league, is you are going to have teams that do come down from the Premier League, and it's going to happen next season. We're going to have one of Spurs, West Ham or Nottingham Forest come down, all of which have got players on incredible budget, incredible wages, who they've spent a lot of money for. I mean, the thought of Spurs being potentially a Championship team next season, a side that won the Europa League last year, a side that have got, certainly in recent Premier League history, have got so much ability and money spent, yet they could be in the same division as us, and Lincoln. It's quite remarkable. That's what makes it tough. But what you've got to do is you've got to make sure the games where you should get points, you've got to play better. And I think that's been one of the disappointing things about the last couple of months, is we've had fixtures, Sheffield Wednesday away, for example, where the result is immaterial in regards to our performance that day. Our performance that day wasn't good enough, and we drew. And the actual result, it didn't matter so much. But if we had 20 shots on goal and Sheffield Wednesday nicked one towards the end and drew, you can accept it a little bit more as the fact that we didn't really create a lot of chances, and that was a disappointing thing. And I think that's what next season, hopefully when we play Lincoln at home, for example, we can think, no, hang on, we're a Championship team here. We spent money on these players. We're looking to develop. We're going to attack this game. We're going to really try and fight for 3 points and come away with the victory. But that's part of the development now for Nathan and his staff this summer, is identifying players who have the quality to make sure we're established Championship side and not have to rely on players that never played in the league before, because it is a huge step up as we keep when we speak to people who've played the game, people like Brownie, people like that, people know more than you and I, they do say the step up is getting even bigger now.
Well, one of the players who had some experience in the Championship and who hasn't figured a huge amount this season because of injury is Harvey Nibbs. And he sat down and spoke to Charlton TV ahead of this afternoon's game. Let's have a listen to what Harvey had to say.
Harvey, last Saturday we secured our safety in the Championship with a game to spare. Just talk us through the emotions of last weekend, and did it make your birthday on the Sunday that little bit more special?
Yeah, firstly, it definitely made my birthday a lot better. I think, securing the team's goal on the Saturday was really good, and it was really nice to it being the final home game, to obviously have the awards after and the lap around the pitch. I think it was just a great day for everyone involved with the club.
And it was a really hard-fought win with 2 goals of real quality. Is that something we need to demonstrate on a more consistent basis going into next season?
Yeah, I feel like we have gave ourselves a lot to do sometimes in games. Whether we start really well, we need to obviously capitalise on them moments. So it was real good in both halves really to get an early-ish kind of goal that allowed us to just build momentum really. And
you came on as a substitute in midweek against Ipswich, and then you made your first start since returning from injury. How did it feel to be back out there from the beginning and help the team to such an important 3 points?
Yeah, it was so good. I feel like during the injury, like when I found out the timescale and it was touch and go returning before the end of the season, I think that's what kind of motivated me to get back fit, to help the team almost see it over the line. So yeah, the fact I was able to start that game and have a good impact in it was really pleasing.
And this weekend we travelled to Swansea, having drawn with them in the reverse fixture at the Valley. What sort of challenge do you expect from them on Saturday?
I feel like they're a good free-flowing side, play good football. Obviously at their place they'll make it difficult, but yeah, we really want to go there and back up the performance against Hull and have a real good end to the season really. And
how important is it for the squad that we do that and we capitalise on last weekend's result and finish as strongly as we can?
Yeah, I think it's important to end a season in good spirits. It'll put us a bit higher up the table and where we almost feel like we kind of deserve to be, especially based on how we started the campaign. So yeah, it'll be really good to end that way either.
And finally, there's a huge clash at the Valley on Saturday as the women's team could lift the WSL2 title. Do you have a message for them heading into such a decisive final day?
I feel like just treat it as any other game. I think they've been so good this season, relied a lot on their home form, and I've got full faith they'll get it done. So yeah, I hope that any fans that aren't attending our game will get down and give them the support that they need. But yeah, I'm sure they'll get it done.
Brilliant, thank you.
So there we are, that was Harvey Nibs speaking to Charlton TV ahead of this afternoon's clash, and as I say that, the two sides have emerged out of the tunnel and crossed the halfway line to shake hands with each other pre-kick-off, and as they do that, I'll read you out the two sides, starting with the home side, Swansea City. In goal for them, number 1, Andy Fisher. 2, Josh Key. 5, the captain, Ben Cabango. 6, Marko Stamenic. 7, Melker Waddell. 9, Zan Bibotnik. 14, Josh Tyman. 15, Cameron Burgess. 17, Gonçalo Franco. 20, Liam Cullen, and 35, Ronald. Subs for Swansea City, Paul Farman, Jay Fulton, Malik Yalkui, Gustavo Nunes, Leo Walter, Joel Ward, Adam Eder, Daniel Watts and Thomas Woodward. The Charlton side with in goal number 1, Thomas Kaminski. 3, Macaulay Gillespie. 5, Lloyd Jones. 6, Connor Coventry. 15, and today's captain, Connor Cody. 19, Luke Chambers. 32, Reece Burke. 41, Harvey Nibs. 44, Harry Clark. 77, Jayden Fevrier, and 99, Lyndon Dykes. Your subs for Charlton: Will Mannion, Kane Ramsey, Luke Berry, Miles Leeburn, Sonny Carey, Charlie Kelman, Joe Rankin Costello, Keenan Goff and Ibrahim Fuller. Your referee for this afternoon is Will Finney, going to be assisted by Alistair Nelson and Nick Hopton, and your fourth official is Ross Martin. And well, Greg, looking around the stadium, looks like it's going to be a good atmosphere here this afternoon, as Swansea also play their final game, obviously, and a few Swansea fans in fancy dress, quite a few Swans around, and if you're sat behind one of them, you're in trouble. But also Charlton fans, there's a few I can see across to our left-hand side. There's quite a few bananas, a couple of traffic cones. We know there's one very dressed-up lady in the stand. I'm trying to look out for her, actually, but I can't just at the minute, unless he decided against dressing up in that particular outfit. But yeah, Charlton fans coming down to the South Wales coast to enjoy themselves this afternoon, and why not?
Yeah, we saw quite a few out last night, didn't we? And yeah, that's the best thing about when you've got nothing to play for. It's a nice trip to Wales with your friends and family. Nice weather. I think it's due a little bit of rain later on, but nice weather for now. And yeah, so it's an opportunity for this Charlton side to show their appreciation for the away fans. The away fans this season have been brilliant. And I know it's quite easy to say, but on the whole, I mean, we've enjoyed our away trips this season for sure.
Well, the two sides have decided on direction of play for the first half. Charlton will defend the way to our left with the Charlton fans, some 2,000 of which have made the trip to South Wales this afternoon. Another decent shift by the travelling addicts. And we are underway at the Swansea.com stadium. As the ball goes back to Kaminski, who sends it forward, down just off right towards Dykes, who gets a flick on Clark, trying to pursue it into the penalty area. It's gathered by Fisher before he can do so. Swansea then building up on the left-hand side in traditional all-white, of course. Charlton in the black kit this afternoon. Ball going back to Burgess. Now out with Timon. Back to Burgess again. Burgess to his left-hand side is Cullen, but chooses to go back to Fisher in the penalty area, and the Swansea keeper strokes it to the right-hand side, although he gets it back fairly quickly. Now out with Burgess once more, as Swansea playing across the line, because Charlton with Fevrier and Nibs pushing on, trying to stop Swansea playing out. So in the end, Fisher goes long down the Swansea right. Chambers gets something on it, should have come off the Swansea man, I think it did, and Ronald, although he put his hand up in more hope than expectation, because Charlton have the throw.
Yeah, it looks like Fevrier is just starting from the left off of Dykes. Nibs off on the right, so it was Carey, long sweep behind Kelman. So it'd be similar to see Fevrier trying to get a bit of freedom behind Lyndon Dykes. I think he's probably better playing from the right side. We can cut in his left foot, as we saw against Hull last week, but it's an opportunity for him to show a little bit of versatility, add a bit of pace. We're going to need that.
Well, he almost benefited from a nice flick on from Dykes to send him on his way, but it's pushed away for another throw to Charlton on the left, and Clark's coming across to launch this into the penalty area. Clark from the left-hand side sends it in. Jones is up there, and it's a header coming in from Cabango, and it's gone away for a Charlton corner. Jones has stayed down in the collision. Helped to his feet by Gillespie. Charlton will have that corner on the Charlton left, and Fevrier goes across to take. Only Connor Coventry back for Charlton. Everybody else in and around the penalty area apart from Fevrier, who's going to take this corner from the Charlton left-hand side. Swings it in, cleared away, not convincingly, I have to say, by Timon. Vidal then completes the clearance out straight to Coventry, sends it back towards the penalty area. Gillespie looking for it, headed clear though before it can get there. Tidied up by Vidal once more. Plays it out very patiently and calmly, but then a miscontrol from Franco has allowed Charlton back in. Jones retreating back, gets it for Charlton. Cody out to the right, and Clark will get it back from Burke, who stayed forward. Charlton forced backwards to Jones. He's got Coventry still alongside him, but instead goes back to Kaminski, and Charlton will restart. Kaminski sends it forward. Dykes looking for it, will get his head there, but the second header coming in clears it only as far as Chambers. Back to Coventry. Gillespie forced backwards by Ronald to Kaminski. Instantly sends it forward. Fevrier can't pursue that because he'd be offside. He's going to pin Swansea into their half a little bit more on the Swansea right, and they'll have a throw. We've had 3.5 minutes, still goalless here.
Yeah, we expect Swansea to build up from defence forward. They like to play possession-based football. Franco in midfield, he's been playing a little bit further forward in recent weeks, will drop back in. He's a clever player, he's a disruptor as well as a player on the ball, and then the three behind the main striker, Ronald in particular, has a little bit of creativity and flair about him. There's an opportunity for Charlton to really get a bit more aggressive and defend a bit higher up the pitch.
Fevrier did really well to intercept Swansea coming forward, but Charlton forced backwards. Burke has a risky ball out to Clark, and he's lunged in to try and get there. I don't think he made a huge amount of contact with Timon. Timon went down. Referee has given a free kick, more for the lunge, I think, than the actual contact. Swansea get the free kick.
Yeah, first viewing it looked like he got a bit of the ball, but the replays here, we're just struggling a little bit with Wi-Fi and the network here, so we can't double check that. But at first viewing, it looked a strong challenge. I mean, it looked like he got something on the ball, Harry Clark. But Timon's the one up. From an attacking point of view, Timon's got 9 assists in the league this season from left back. He's aggressive going forward, so I think that'll be work for Clark today.
And he's over the ball for this free kick as well from the left-hand side. Swings it in. Clark misses it, but it's cleared away. And Chambers inside the area just managed to get it out to Fevrier, who's taken immediately off the ball by that man Timon, but his ball forward straight to Kaminski, who tries to release it quickly down the left to Dykes, who've made an intelligent move out to the left. Back to Coventry. Has to turn away from trouble. Inside to Cody. And touch back to Gillespie. Now Chambers on the left. Closed down by Ronald. Inside to Coventry, switches it across to Burke. Clark's available on this right-hand side. Clark sends it. Well, try to send it in the channel looking for Nibs. It's cleared away before he can find him. And that will roll out for a Charlton throw on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's an interesting, obviously with Greg Doxey missing today, it's interesting to see Coventry and Cody starting together. It's like an old-fashioned midfield duo, just cleaning up and just trying to win the second balls for Charlton. But equally, when they get the ball, they're going to need the likes of Nibs and Fevrier, who are just playing off of Dykes, just to drop in, offer a little bit of movement, offer a bit of support. At the moment, Charlton started with going a little bit more sideways, a little bit safer, getting stuck and having to go long. I'd like to see the likes of Nibs and Fevrier really getting the game from an attacking point of view for Charlton.
Well, the throw from Charlton comes to nothing, and it's back in Swansea possession. With Cabango further out to the right-hand side. Stamanic back to Cabango. Swansea up to the point we played them in at the Valley in the season, but certainly I think at that point one of the better teams we'd played and then of course Southampton came to town. But they do play very controlled possession football and have pace and something about them. I think we did really well to keep them at bay at the Valley. We had to leave it late to obviously get the equaliser, but certainly a good footballing side. And Charlton will have to be at their mettle as Swansea break forward through the middle, looking to send Ronaldo on his way. Chambers wanted Kaminski to come out and he couldn't, but Chambers managed to get back to the Charlton keeper. It should be a Charlton throw as Burke gets it off of Widdell for the Charlton throw, but just an indication there of just that speed of ball and speed of movement that might cause Charlton some problems this afternoon.
Yeah, I don't think Burke was appreciative of the ball from Kaminski. Maybe in hindsight, could he have cleared it away first time with the ball back from Chambers? But just did about enough. There might have been a little bit of contact which allowed Charlton to get the throw, but I didn't see too much. I thought it was actually a Swansea City throw.
Fivrier does really well to avoid 3 challenges. Oh, I think the assistant guessed a little bit on that. Fivrier was in real close proximity to him and gave the throw in. Challenge coming in on Stamenic, which the referee didn't like. Swansea City free kick taken quickly. Back with Stamenic again. Cabango to his right. Further right. Ball infield to Franco. Back to Cabango. Who in turn has his keeper behind him. Fisher gives it to Cabango once more. Looks long and cross field, drills it across. That's going to go straight to Clark. Clark intercepts and looked to play in Jones, but his that route was blocked. So straight back to Kaminski. Now out to Burke, who's sending Dykes on his way into the channel. Dykes gets his head there. Second header from Cabango. Dykes still battling. Swansea get it clear and out to Timon. Inside to Stamenic. Moving across, he's got Key to his outside on the right-hand side. Going past Fevrier and coming forward, Key still in possession. Deep into Charlton territory, ball across. Takes a touch from Vibotnik and it needs Burke to come across to get in the way and clear it. And it'll be a throw-in 5 yards or so away from the corner flag on the right-hand side. Quickly taken into Franco. Back out to Key. Franco outside of him again. Key makes a movement inside, gets the ball across, looking for Botnik, cleared away and as far as Stamenic. Excuse me, inside to Stamenic once more, with a 1-2. Burgess to his left. Inside of him is Timon. Swings it across, looking for Botnik, headed away by Gillespie. Good header as well. Dykes will pick it up for Charlton. Back to Cody. Cody under pressure, tries to tee up Burke, who again won't thank him for the pass. And then a heavy challenge coming in from Franco gives Charlton a free kick.
Yeah, it's been a lively start from Swansea for sure. Key and Timon, the two fullbacks, are pushing on, not afraid to accelerate with the ball at the feet, take Swansea up the pitch. And Charlton are just, when we win the ball back, we're just struggling just to keep it. You know, we're looking to clear it or try and pass it, but we put ourselves into danger, so we have to quickly clear it away. And that was an example there. Cody tried to play a ball to Burn. We did well to win the free kick, but it was a risky ball. We're looking for a way out when we got possession inside our own half, and that's probably a consequence of not having a lot of pace over the top to try and hit the channels.
We're also playing quite a high line, which means there's a bit more of a gap between the midfield and the likes of Nibs, Fevrier and Dykes up top. So that little out ball that we normally have is not there. And that's, I guess, Charlton being a little bit more adventurous, potentially, as we move forward down the right-hand side, cleared away by Cabango. It'll be a Charlton throw. Again, Clark comes across to launch this in. It's 20 yards away from the corner flag. Everybody in around the Swansea penalty area. Bar commentary again as Clark sends it in. Goes above and beyond everybody. Nips, heads it back. Gillespie with a touch. That might be a free kick because he jumped into his man. But I don't think anybody was expecting that to go through all the way through, least of all Nibs. They just caught him by surprise and he couldn't direct this header properly across the box.
That was an outstanding throw from Harry Clark, similar to the Middlesbrough one where he scored with Cody. It just went beyond that initial pack at the near post. As a defensive team, if that ball bounces, it causes panic, and just Gillespie just overcommitted. He put his arm over the top of the defender. It's a definite foul, and it's a shame because had he just collided with the man, there wasn't a lot of Swansea bodies around, and the second ball might have fallen to a Charlton man.
Stevenic looks to go long, looking for Ronald. Headed away, but Key will pick it up for Swansea. It's a good challenge coming in from Coventry to win it back for Charlton. Tries to go down the line. Ball escapes him over it, and it'll be a Swansea throw. About halfway inside the Charlton half, although they're allowed to take a little bit further forward, but the ball's gone backwards, so it's irrelevant. It's back into the feet of Burgess. Down to the right, it's Cabango. Key further right. Ways blocked, so moves infield to Verbotnik, coming short, and it's a wayward ball looking for Burgess, sent him scampering back to his left, but he'll pick it up, move forward. Stevenic inside of him, runners ahead of him, one of which is Cullen. It's fouled by Coventry as he tried to make space. Quickly taken to the feet of Franco, out to Timon. Back inside to Stevenic. Cross to the right is Cabango. Key further right. Runners ahead of him, one of which is Franco, edge of the penalty area, tries to go back to Key. Got in each other's way really, and it's allowed Coventry to clear it away up towards Dykes, but Cabango will beat him to it. Now Key will go back to Cabango and into the Swansea half. Charlton did well there to repel what looked like a promising move from the hosts. Stevenic picks it up in the centre circle, out to Cabango on his right. Key now pushed backwards by Chambers, all the way back to Cabango. One-two with Key once more, and now Burgess to his left. He's got Timon in space to his left. That's who he uses. Timon though, forced back by Nibs. Charlton doing well to prevent Swansea making progress. Swansea have a lot of possession at the minute, and it's Widow with the Charlton fans away to our left making a huge amount of noise.
Well, it's because they in Swansea are singing the same song about a certain team in the Premier League in the relegation zone.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough.
This is good from Charlton. Now, Swansea are playing good, patient build-up. That's a shame.
Yeah,
the left side needed to push up there. Chambers needed to push out alongside Fevre and Dykes because the press there was good, but the fact they were deep has allowed Swansea inside the Charlton half.
But Charlton regrouped, forced Swansea back again, but Stevenic has possession. Moving into the Charlton half. 1-2 with Verbotnik who'd come short. And it's good work from Dykes to prevent Stevenic coming forward. He's inside to Burgess, who's now bringing it forward. Straight through the middle, looks for the ball, and it's a good ball. An offside flag is up. It was Timon who'd made the run. It's an excellent move, a good run from Burgess. Spotted the run of Timon, but he just timed his run, if you'll pardon the pun, incorrectly. Flag went up before the ball was put in the back of the net, and it remains 0-0.
Yeah, Verbotnik took up a really good spot. He's just dragging. Lloyd Jones basically man-marking Verbotnik. And Verbotnik just stepped out of that forward area, and Jones was following him and was a little bit hesitant whether to drop back in. And Timon had made a run just before that one where he was completely free, went back to his position. This time he was tracked by Cody, and Charlton just held their line really well. He's definitely offside, but a little bit of a warning sign in terms of Verbotnik's movement. If Jones is going to follow him, you've got to watch for runners from deep. Timon had already made that run beforehand, and that was a little bit of a warning sign that you can't just let a left back drift in like that from 30 yards from the left-hand side in towards our penalty area. Got the line right on this occasion, but you can start to see gaps emerging when Jones is following Verbotnik between the other centre halves and where Jones is.
Swansea have it on their right-hand side with Cabango. It's come inside now to Stevenic. It's got Burgess in the centre. Still in the Swansea half, moved out towards Timon. Timon to Waddell, forced backwards by Clark to Burgess once more. Quarter of an hour gone, still goalless here at the Swansea.com stadium. Now Key, who's come inside, will move to Cabango. Forward to Waddell, who's crossed field and swapped places with Key momentarily. Charlton still making Swansea go backwards and sideways. Now the ball forward looking for Timon, and he just couldn't bring it down under pressure from Clark. And he attempted the cross but scuffed it poorly into the waiting feet of Kaminski. He'll pick it up now. Roll it left to Gillespie. Gillespie out to Chambers. Going to be closed down by Ronald. Back inside to Coventry. Again, he's under pressure, so Gets it across to Jones, who is under pressure again, and that looked like a foul, but nothing given. Now it is. I think the first one was definitely a foul. I don't think the second one was. I think the referee might have taken pity on Lloyd Jones there as he was lying prone on the ground trying to deal with it. Another Black Knight from Monty Python's. 50 years old today, that film, by the way.
Yeah, it's a foul. Yeah, he just jumps into the back of Lloyd Jones. At first I thought, well, maybe actually a bit more of a shoulder barge, but it wasn't. He jumped into the back. I'm surprised it took that long for the free kick if the referee had the same angle that we've just seen, or a similar angle to what we've just seen. But Franco is good at that. He is really good at that. I liked him when he played at the Valley this season. He does the kind of ugly things well. He's a constant menace in that middle of midfield. He'll be energetic, and he'll be a problem for Charlton just from us trying to play and trying to get on the ball.
I've got to say that Clark just went up for a challenge. I was convinced the Swansea defenders, I think it might have been Burgess, his arm was up in the air. And they caught Clark. He's just having a chat with the referee, who's now sending him off to the sideline, even though the physios haven't come on. Clark disputing that particular rule, but we've seen that a few times this season, so I think it's one of those where the officials need the player to go off, just in case they're trying to pull a fast one. It looked like there was an arm up into Clark's face.
Concern on the Charlton bench, should I say, to begin with.
Yeah, his arm across his chin, so definitely caught him. Charlton, though, start again. Clark still off the pitch, but it's Burke on the right-hand side. But Dykes, a good touch. Nibs might be offside here if he goes for it, and he is. Just timed his run. He was hoping it would come in a little bit quicker. It didn't. It would have been a lovely move had it worked, but slightly ahead. Nibs, it'll be a free kick to Swansea. On their left-hand side, just spotted some Power Rangers in a fancy dress outfit update for you.
Yeah, I'd like to see Nibs and Fevrier swap gradually during the match. I know they probably have defensive responsibilities dealing with maybe the likes of Timon and Key pushing on, but I'd like to see in possession those two just make a little bit more movement at the moment. It's a little bit obvious when they do move off the ball. Like that example there, Dykes, it was a nice little idea into Nibs, but the Swansea could see what was happening, pushed up, and he's offside.
Well, Charlton pushing up again and keeping Swansea in and around their penalty area, and it's forced Andy Fisher to just panic and get it long. Gillespie intervened, but he couldn't pick out Coventry with a pass, and Swansea had it back. Burgess will bring it forward. There's a huge amount of space on the Swansea right-hand side as Key brings it forward. Gillespie trying to make it back, but the ball comes across and then sent in. Oh, saved by Kaminsky from the shot of Ibotnik, and it almost came off Clark and went in the bottom corner. And he managed to just screw it wide of the post for the corner.
It all starts because Ronaldo drifts inside. Chambers follows him, and that means that he's out of position, so Key can advance forward. Gillespie comes out of position to try and close him down. Vipotnik, who I've already spoke about, takes up really good pockets of space. He just holds his run again, times it late towards the edge of the penalty area, is found in space, and he should do better. Vipotnik doesn't quite catch it. Kaminsky with the save, and then the rebound from Clark.
Corner taken quickly, swung in by Timon. Header comes in, but it's gone harmlessly backwards. And Kaminsky scampers across to the left side of his penalty area to pick it up.
Yeah, the rebound, which then Clark dealt with. I'm quite sure that's what he meant. But
I'm absolutely sure it wasn't what he meant.
But yeah, it was enough in the end.
Charlton pick it up from the headed clearance. Dykes sends Chambers away to the right. Chambers trying to get the ball instantly into the box as Coventry made the run. An important interception from Ronaldo for Swansea. And it's away for a Charlton throw.
But Chambers needs to get a grip on Key rather than Ronaldo for me. I think Ronaldo's just going to come inside. He's going to take that channel up. You give him to Gillespie, because Gillespie's not marking anyone at that moment in time. And keep Chambers on Key, because he's advanced so far forward. He's practically playing right wing back for Swansea.
The throw goes into Dykes. It's a very high bounce, and it's adjudged to have come off the forearm of Dykes. He's entirely happy with that decision, but Swansea have a free kick on their right-hand side. Inside the penalty area on their right. Fisher sends the players to his left and right away, so this will go long. Away it goes down the Swansea right. Chambers gets something on it, but it goes backwards, and it may well be a Swansea throw halfway inside the Charlton half, and it is. over it, but I can't believe he'll be the one that takes it. Franco goes across.
You can see why he scores goals, though, Tell. His movement off the ball is really, really good. It's hard to describe for people who might be watching at home and can't see his movement off of it, but he's just dragging the Charlton defence. You might be thinking, he's had a quiet game, but he's just making these little runs that are just dragging the Charlton defence, and that's what's allowing the likes of Timon, Key and the players around him to drift into those pockets of space that we're seeing.
The movement here from Swansea is good, and it's Widdell going across the pitch into Robotnik. That's well tackled by Nibs, but Swansea still have it. It's Franco out to the right and Key. Being hemmed into the corner, but he's got the ball off of Gillespie, and it's away for a corner. And with that, in a Charlton TV production brought to you by NordVPN, I'll hand you over to Greg Stubley to lead commentator for the rest of this first half.
Yeah, thank you, Tay. After 22.5 minutes, Swansea City 0, Charlton 0. Swansea with the best chance of the game for Robotnik, top scorer in the league. Every shot that was saved by Kaminski diving to his right. And now the Swans have the corner, and Timon, the left back, will come across to take. Cabango and Burgess, two centre halves for Swansea City in the penalty area. And Charlton have everyone back as Timon swings it in. It's beyond everybody. Clark went for it and he missed it. Comes out to Ronaldo, who lines up a shot. It's a wayward one that Clark clears away. Swansea will have the throw.
Yeah, it's not the first time in this game balls have been whipped across from one side of the penalty area to the other without anybody really getting on the end of it. On both defences, to be fair.
Fisher short to Cabango. Stamanik short, and he can turn and look forward. He's got Burgess out to the left-hand side, Timon further left as Nibs forces him back, and Fisher making his first start of the season. No Vigouroux for Swansea, one of their best players this season, the goalkeeper. It's an opportunity for Fisher. There's Burgess inside to Stamanik. Swansea also missing Ethan Galbraith, who we know from later on last season, and a rumoured Charlton link in the summer. He's missing today through injury. There's Fisher, the ball long. Down the target, he's fighting for it against Chambers, who holds him off. Chambers works it inside, he's done well. The ball right to Clark was risky. Clark just flicks it away outside of his foot. Swansea regain possession as Stamanik is allowed to turn. Robotnik makes a little forward run, the ball up towards Robotnik's a difficult one for him to control. So Clark's able to clear it away as Nibs heads it on, but Swansea will have the throw. Franco takes quickly, goes back to Burgess, and now Stamanik inside to Cabango. Stamanik again. Inside the Charlton half, turns and out to the right to Cabango. Fidel, he's just swapped sides momentarily with Ronaldo. Back to Burgess. Deep inside the half, as Swansea are allowed to turn through Riddell. Now Cullen. Left hand side Ronaldo. He's got through the legs of Clark and did so. He thought that Clark just put enough pressure on him to fall to the floor. Nice bit of skill in the first place, but maybe a little bit soft in the manner in which he went down. But Swansea have the free kick, which is quickly taken.
I think he bought that, Ronaldo. It was going nowhere and just deliberately ran into it. Where's he going to go? Clark's just ran into him and then fell over.
Stamanik back to Cabango. Forward to Ronaldo. He's back over on the right-hand side. Stamanik inside to Cullen on the half turn. Go to left-hand side. Riddell now for Swansea. Cuts inside. Lays it off for Franco. Stamanik lofted towards the right. Key, can he get there? Keeps it in play, Key. Tries to advance onto his own touch, but good work from Chambers to gain possession for Charlton. It's Cody with a risky ball back to Gillespie. Trying to do well to work themselves out of a bit of a tricky situation. Clark inside to Coventry, looking to turn Stamenik has ball down the line, cut out by Timon, but Charlton will have the throw.
That was good football coming out from a defensive place. Chambers did superbly well on that left-hand side to not just track key, but then come away with the football as well. And then as Charlton looked to be penned in by Swansea, worked it well out to the right-hand side. There was fractions in that ball down the line from Coventry from finding Fevrier in space.
Burke will take the throw for Charlton as Clark. It's option short, but Burke's going to line us up and throw it long down the line. Flicked on by Timon. Dykes with good chase. Cabango falls to the ground a little bit too easily. Dykes gets the ball back, and ball in the box has come off Cabango. Charlton will settle for the long throw.
That's in the penalty area, and he's at the other end. He gets booking for that because he just launched himself to the floor, expecting a free kick. Charlton have another throwing opportunity from Clark by the corner flag.
I haven't seen the last long throw that Harry Clark threw in. It can cause problems.
You'd like to see somebody running around the back.
Clark does throw it this time towards the near post. Jones flicks it on, comes towards Dykes on the half turn. Dykes shoots, it's blocked. It's back to Jones. Clark. Jones again. Fevrier inside. Jones shimmies and now crosses. Dykes the target. Dykes hits it back across and Nibs could get in it. Harry Clark with a strike and cleared away. Swansea showing vulnerability. Defended set pieces as Fevrier cuts inside and shot deflects up in the air.
Where that deflection was going.
Caught by Fisher.
That's Charlton's best bit of play, certainly from a goal threat in this first half. Good throw in, which was bouncing anywhere. Dykes got his shot away blocked, and then in credit to Swansea, everything that Charlton threw in there got blocked as well, but they have it back.
Feverier's done well to win it. Coventry forward to Dykes. Taking too much time on the ball and intercepted by Franco, and now Swansea will look to break. Ronaldo on the right-hand side, up against Chambers in the penalty area. Now step over. Chambers did well to stay on his feet, win the ball back for Charlton, clears it forward towards Fevrier. As well, Fevrier holds off two Swansea players, but then the ball to Nibs is wayward.
Yeah, we saw Nibs moving towards him, and then Nibs stopped, expecting it at his feet. And Fevrier expected him to carry on that move backwards. But again, Chambers was outstanding to win that ball back for Charlton from Ronaldo. He's having a good spell, Chambers.
Swansea possession with Cabango. A heavy touch. Dykes went in with a challenge, but Cabango wins it forward. The Wales international, and now to the right to Franco. Back to Cabango. Now Ronaldo. Swansea keep possession as Cabango. Back to Burgess. Stamenik back to Burgess again. Stamenik can drift inside the Swansea, the Charlton half as Riddell. Back to Burgess. Charlton will now want to push up. Riddell under pressure from Coventry, just drifts forward. Coventry slides in, trying to win the ball. The free kick's given.
Just the wrong side of Riddell to make that challenge, Coventry, and although he was trying to get to the ball, Riddell was protecting it. It was almost impossible to do so, so clear free kick. Riddell stayed down as well.
Just grazed his leg here, Coventry, as he slid in to win the ball. Oh, it actually looked like Riddell actually, maybe his boot got caught in the turf as he slid in himself.
Fancy dress outfit, I've seen a carrot.
Don't know Mr. Brown was here today.
Have you ever come football in fancy dress, Greg?
No.
Sure?
Not deliberately.
What, not even today? No. Sorry. 3 times. So, a pirate, a knight, and Chris Powell were my 3 attempts.
This is why we don't win awards here on Charlton TV. You're not missing anything.
We're just filling time. Can I say, actually, while we've got a bit of time, just to mention the Lenny Lawrence dinner, which was outstanding last Sunday. You couldn't make it, unfortunately, because you had personal commitments. But yeah, I know it was a quality night, and thanks to Steve Brown, Lucy McNichols, of course, in the capacity as organising, I should say, the Past Players Association, and meeting up with all those players from that era was fantastic. Some couldn't make it, sadly, but the ones that were there, it was a great night. Steve Sutherland did a superb job, as did Charlotte Richardson in hosting what was a quality night. I know Steve was worried about it, but he needn't have been. It was a superb evening.
Ever the professional.
Well,
well, I'm glad you had a great night.
No,
yeah, well
good
done, everyone. Celebrating a Charlton legend, that's for sure. We're still here at Swansea. It looks like Waddell's back to his feet. Not missing anything here on Charlton TV. Last game of the season. I'm sure many Charlton fans are having a little eye on results elsewhere, certain neighbours of ours.
Oh, and also, by the way, there'll be Charlton fans watching it. I don't know if they're watching our stream or the Sky coverage, but they'll be watching the game in the fans bar and then taking the women's game, which is a really important one at the Valley straight after. So even if you're watching from, I don't know, Uzbekistan or Liechtenstein or Ireland, wherever you're from, if you can get a jet across to the Valley, you can take in the women's game in the afternoon.
Yeah, good luck. I was going to say that at half-time. Best of luck to the Charlton women's side later today. A crucial game against Birmingham City. Winner takes all is the kind of mantra of the day. Certainly, hopefully, an end to what's been a good campaign, brilliant campaign for Karen Hills and her side. We are back underway here. Swansea going on with the ball with the goalkeeper. Out of play for a Charlton throw. Waddell's looks like it's okay to continue for now. As Burke prepares to take the throw on the right-hand side. Throws forward over the head of Clark, cleared away by Burgess. Cody, a little push on Franco, but ball goes out of play anyway. Swansea will have the throw. As Timon throws backwards to Burgess, and play will continue as Burgess brings it forward out of defence. We played 33 minutes here. Swansea 0, Charlton 0. Ball up towards Franco, moves out to Gillespie as Dykes heads back to Coventry. His header inside is just falling for Potnick. Coventry did well to win the ball back. Swansea wanted a foul, nothing given as Charlton will play on with Nibbs. There's an foot Chambers, and there's work to do here. Chambers has done brilliantly. He finds Nibbs down the line. Harvey Nibbs with the cross towards the far post, and it's over here. That was an opportunity for Charlton's players on the edge of the penalty area, and Nibbs just didn't get his head up.
No, he had two opportunities. He had not only Dykes in the centre of the 6-yard box, but Cody was and Coventry were running towards the edge, needed a drag back. Nobody got anything, and that cross went sailing over the penalty area. Even the Carrot would have got to that, and he's a big lad.
Well, Waddell's gone back down to the floor, so I imagine Swansea are going to have to make a change here. Clearly not happy. There's no point taking risks.
So I didn't see that. I mean, we saw that. I didn't see the challenge up close. It was certainly Coventry's that it was the wrong side of him trying to get to the ball, and clearly went through Waddell to try and get there. Well, he's suffering as a result.
Yeah, it looked like his foot may have got caught in the turf just before he slid in for the challenge with Coventry. It's a worrying sign for a Swansea City point of view. They will be forced into the change. Waddell will come off. Yeah, Walter is his replacement.
Substitution for Swansea City in the field. Out number 7, Malcolm Medina. Malcolm plays for the Spurs number 21, Leo Walter.
Yeah, Walter's on. Looks like he's going to immediately get into the action as Swansea have the throw on the left-hand side. Timon to take. Throws inside to Cullen, gets it back. Timon clears down the line. Jones will head it away. Cody wins the header, it goes wayward, and Swansea will have the throw.
Yeah, you can see what he was trying to do, trying to cushion it left into Burke, but it's got a little too much on it.
So to Cabango. Just forward and back to Burgess. Stanek and Burgess exchange passes again as they're in return. Cabango to his right. Cabango can drift forward. So it's Ronald. Forward, looking for the run of Key, who's offside. So he did get to the
Could
ball.
have been a handball in there as well, to be fair. Again, Chambers is, since you mentioned, actually, I don't know if you've been listening to you, but since you mentioned about concentrating on Key on that left-hand side, he's done exactly that, Luke Chambers, and he's dealt with him really well.
Kaminski with the free kick, as John will potentially go long here. They look like they're going to do so. Kaminski looks for Dykes, who helps it on. Nibs then gets something to it, headed away by Stamanik, who clears it further forward. Jones heads it back towards the Swansea City defence as Nibs tries to win it. Goes down with Dykes, who gets something to it. Now Nibs down the line. Coventry will give chase, but this should go out of play. No, just about did.
That might
Cabango close.
come off Cabango as well. That's difficult to spot, but I think that ball came off the corner flag and might have hit Cabango.
Swansea do have the throw. Cabango clears it away towards Vipotnik. Gillespie wins the header, but Swansea will have the throw further inside their half. Just having a word with a fan, and Luton Matos, the Swansea City head coach, wasn't happy with his response, so keep an eye on that one as Burgess heads it forward. Burke likewise for Charlton. Ball comes down to Clark, to the right to Fevrier, keeps it in, back to Clark. Now Cody, back to Jones, goes to Gillespie. Coventry's close by in the centre circle, who turns out to the right to Cody. Cody, one ball down the line. Cleared away by Burgess. Burke with a header forward. Burgess again with the header as Jones comes out in defence to collect for Charlton and looks up. He's got Nibs to his left. Chambers makes a run ahead of Harvey Nibs, who controls. Cuts back and goes back to Coventry. Across to Burke. Left to Gillespie. And Nibs again, inside is Cody. All the way back to Kaminski, and gives chase. Kaminski has to scamper across and clear it away. Forward, Fisher comes out of his penalty area. Good run from Nibs, forces Fisher to clear it away. With the header, Simon controls, shrugs off Fevrier, cuts back. To Cullen. Stamanik turn and out to the right hand side. Out of defence is Cabango. To Franco. Back again. He's it off for Burgess, who has gone to the substitute. Back to Burgess, pulled down the line, is comfortable for Burke to control. Forward looking for Dykes, headed away by Stamanik. Ball falls down, confusion for Swansea as to who to pick it up. Franco takes charge and Volta back to Burgess, and Charlton again just to get a foothold of the ball at the moment. Stamanik to Cabango. Key makes a run forward from defence, and that's the target. Key running to the right hand side, keeps it in play. Not quite on the second occasion. Charlton will have the throw.
Yeah, it's good patience though from Charlton, and there were options where we could have just gone along and hoofed it, but you know, when Swansea have sent the ball forward looking for a ball either at an angle around the back or through the middle, both Jones, Gillespie and Burke have been patient rather than just hoofing it and looking for a Charlton shirt, so that's good to see.
Throw down the line. Burgess comes across and clears it away. Gillespie with a header towards Fevrier, who controls, but controls go backwards. Now Cullen, good interception from Nibs, and then Fevrier's pulled down. Charlton will have the free kick.
I think that goes under the category of bought as well, that free kick. Fevrier felt the presence, I should say, of Cullen behind him. I'm not sure there was a huge amount of contact, but Fevrier gleefully accepted that presence. Down he went. Charlton free kick.
Kaminski to take the free kick. Kaminsky. The long ball forward. Burke. Getting the end of it in the penalty area. He's headed up in the air. Cullen heads forward. Dykes gets something to it as Franco further touches it. Jones back to Clark. Clark trying to flick it to the right-hand side towards Fevrier. Come off a Swansea man.
I think you're right as well. And Charlton players know that. Looking at the referee, expecting a decision, didn't come.
It's time. Will take. Throws it inside to Stamenik, and now Burgess to Stamenik again, forward towards Ronald. There's a little flick of the laid off for Key. Key will go on a run. Nips trying to get back at Key. Cuts back and drifts in the centre of Charlton's half. Out to left is Timon. Volta. Cullen close by as Volta turns and looks forward. Not a lot of movement. So he had a lot of controlled possession without testing the Charlton defence at the moment. Ball back to Cabango. Stamenik back to Cabango. Burgess. To Timon. Forward to Cullen, who turns. Held up by Jones. Cullen out to left to Volta. Volta take on Burke. Down the line to Timon. To force Swansea back as they keep possession. Just struggling to get hold of the ball at the moment. It's patient possession, I think is the phrase from Swansea. Definitely has an end of season feel. As Cabango goes to Stamenik. Burgess is Charlton just trying to stay organised for Swansea back. Done exactly that as Burgess inside to Key. Ball to the right to Cabango. So a bit of space has opened up as Cabango goes on a run. Key down the line, the ball's overhit. Chambers intercepts and looks to turn. Has to go back to Cody. Clears it away. Franco. To Stamenik, and now Ronald turns and looks forward, and the ball is comfortable for Kaminsky, and after all that, Charlton will have the ball with the goalkeeper.
Once again, it's patient from Charlton, just allowing Swansea to have that possession, and just then trying to make sure they don't do anything damaging with it.
Burke the ball forward up towards Dykes, heads it back towards Clark. Now Cody to the right to Burke, concedes possession as Burke tries to win it back and dumps Franco to the ground. Swansea will have the free kick. I don't think it's a surprise. You can see why Swansea are good at home under Vitor Matos. They keep a lot of possession. They've got the 4th best home record since his appointment in November in the league. It's quite telling the way they play football. They control the ball. Yes, you could argue they don't create a lot with it. Certainly in this game, that's the case in point. But equally, it's hard to create chances against them. 400 minutes at the end of this first half. Volta back to Burgess. Side to Volta again. Leaves it off for Burgess, and Charlton will try and push forward. Swansea keep possession. Cabango. To Stamenik, ball inside, cleared away by Gillespie, but straight back to Stamenik.
It's frustrating because he had Coventry really close by, could have just outballed it, and then it was Dykes could have been on a foot race. Ball over the top.
Volta and Stamenik combine, and now Burgess again. So like the ball. Cameron Burgess, the Swansea centre half. Forward to Timon, and leaves it. Stamenik can collect on the left-hand side, and he's about to turn. A little slow to react, and Stamenik crosses in the box, cleared away by Jones. And as far as Volta, back to Cabango, tries to shoot, so he steps forward out of defence. Out to the left is Cullen. Swansea looking to finish the half strongly here as Timon inside to Cullen again. Strikes, hits Jones as Cody trying to clear it away. And as far as Franco, he will shoot. Doesn't connect with it either, and Jones again, the man blocking it for Charlton, who looked to counter through Fevrier. The challenge comes in from Franco to win the ball back, and Burke clears it away. Burgess down to Volta, inside to Staminik. And Cabango. A little more urgency from Swansea's half-time approaches. Cabango. Now Franco to the left is Tyman. Tyman whips in a dangerous cross, and Renal just slipped. Clearance from Gillespie on as far as Volta. Looking for a moment to shoot, lays it off for Franco, strikes, but it's wide. That was
good
better
pressure
from Swansea.
Yeah, good pressure from Coventry over that final shot. And Charlton just guilty of panicking a little bit as we approach the end of the first half. We've done so well at containing Swansea. It almost is like we need to get in at half-time, and just snatched at a few clearances where we hadn't been up to that point, going straight back to the men in white and putting pressure on Charlton again. So it's sort of pressure it wasn't really necessary if we'd have just carried on doing what we've been doing all first half. But good work from Coventry to force that shot rushed and away for a goal kick.
Kaminski to take. Dykes helps it on, and a chance here for Fevrier, perhaps, as Fevrier approaching the edge of the parents here. Jaden Fevrier with a strike, and he's comfortable in the end for Fisher diving to his right. He was looking for a similar finish to the one we saw against Hull last weekend, Fevrier. That was Charlton's best effort of the match so far, but it's covered comfortably by Fisher in the end.
It serves notice on the Swans that Charlton pose a threat. It's a soft free kick from the referee, I think, unless we're a bit of a distance away, unless he saw something I couldn't.
Cabango inside to Staminik, who can turn and looks forward. Cuts back and left-hand side is Tyman. Staminik again. To Burgess. Across to Volta. Tries it down the line, but will come across to clear it away. Towards Fevrier. Put away by Burgess. Charlton will settle for the throw, and potentially the last piece of action before the end of the half. It won't be a half we'll remember from this season, but still 0-0. Long throw down the line, and there is the half-time whistle. After 45 minutes here at Swansea, it's Swansea City 0, Charlton 0. Swansea had the best chance of the first half. Top scorer in the league is Vipotnik, shooting from close range, forcing Thomas Kaminski into a save, diving to his right. Charlton have had a couple of half moments just before half-time. Jaden Fevrier shooting from a similar position to his goal against Hull last week. Fisher, making his first appearance of the season in the Swansea City goal, was able to save comfortably, diving to his right. At the half-time here, it is Swansea 0, Charlton 0. And your thoughts overall first 45 minutes, Terry Smith?
Well, as I said earlier on, it's been a patient half by Charlton, and we've had a couple of moments, so we're serving a notice that we can carry and pose a threat going forward. But yeah, it's been largely Swansea, certainly in possession, and we've retreated back. But we've kept their chances to a minimum. And I think you've noticed it, and obviously Nathan Jones did as well. Their main threat in the early part of that first half was coming down their right-hand side with Key overlapping Ronaldo. And that seems to have been plugged, with Chambers taking much more notice of that. It might mean that Chambers doesn't pose as much of a threat going forward, but it certainly negated that threat down the Charlton left. So with that in mind, whether that'll change in the second half, I guess not. I think it'll be more of the same. But I think Nathan Jones will be quite happy going in at half-time the way we have, because we've been disciplined, controlled, and keeping Swansea's chances at a minimum.
Well, certainly so. Well, we'll hope for a little bit more action in this second half. We do have a lot of players on the bench who we imagine will probably get minutes, like Sir Kelman, Fuller, Leeburn perhaps. We might even see Luke Berry get an appearance, which could possibly be his final Charlton appearance. We'll wait and see. He's out of contract in the summer. But there is the first half here at Swansea City, and half-time we've got a special video to bring you. The Charlton Community Trust held their annual Upbeats Walk last week. Congratulations to everyone who took part. Over 200 of you did so, and a number of Charlton legends also took on the 7-mile walk from Sparrows Lane to the Valley to raise money for CAC's Down syndrome team. It's fantastic to see them, as always, and especially at half-time, go and have a little kind of round of applause from everyone around the ground, guard of honour from the Charlton fans. So thank you, and thank you to Hull City fans as well for that as well. But let's have a look at the highlights from last week as the Charlton Upbeats and Charlton fans took part in the Upbeats walk. And then myself and Tel will go for a 10-minute break, and we'll bring you all the second half action live here on Charlton TV.
Hello from Sparrows Lane, where it is my favourite day of the Charlton athletic calendar. It is Upbeats Walk Day. 200 supporters are taking part, raising funds for our incredible Upbeats programme. They are joined by 6 Charlton athletic legends. It is going to be a wonderful day.
Oh, it's fantastic. This is the second time I've done it, and it's a great experience. It gets them to join in the flat with all the supporters, and there's a good walk down to the valley, so it's a lovely day.
Jason's got me involved. I've seen the boys do it, like when they come to the finish line at the Valley. Last year I was working at the Valley, so I was at the finish line when they came here, and no, it's brilliant to see everyone coming out. It's a shame that the kick-off's been moved to a 12:30 because we could have took our time doing the walk, but now it's more of a sprint.
A sprint. We've never sprinted in our life.
Between us, no.
Well, I just like supporting the whole function. I mean, obviously they do so much. I see the smiley faces when we come down on the patrons' visits and during the games and everything else. It's just a fantastic cause that should have a lot of time and effort put into it. The biggest thing for me is when you come across that finishing line, you see all the guys high-fiving you on the way through from both teams. It's just amazing stuff. It's brilliant.
The atmosphere is fantastic. It's so nice that everybody comes together and supports the Upbeats. It's just the boys get so much out of it that it's just fantastic to be a part of. They give the Upbeats so many opportunities to do things that they simply wouldn't get to do otherwise. The coaches are phenomenal. They have the most amazing, uplifting, encouraging, understanding, and empathy towards the boys, and the time that they give them is just unreal. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, so obviously we've done this for a lot of years now, doing the walks and the fundraising for them, and just seeing that, all the competitions they do and all the trips they get to do, and seeing all the smiles on all their faces, and all the friendships that they make, and gives them a platform to express themselves and enjoy their life as well as much as we do. So it's a great cause, and the community trust, we've obviously sung from the rooftop many a time of how great it is, and obviously it's great that we can contribute even if it's that little bit.
Well, welcome back here to Charlton TV at half-time. Swansea City 0, Charlton 0. This Charlton TV production sponsored by NordVPN, as both sides are back out for the second half. Joined by myself, Greg Stubley, and alongside me for this afternoon is the legend that is Mr. Terry Smith. And Tell, change at half-time for Swansea. They already made one in the first half of the injury to Malcolm Vidal. And now they brought on Jay Fulton.
Yeah, in place of Stamenic, who was their sort of their holding midfield player, who was sort of setting them every move forward. So maybe they're going to go a little bit more direct. I don't know. I'm not sure quite how Fulton plays, of course, but yeah, it might be a slight change in tack from the home side.
No changes for Charlton for the second half. So they line up Kaminski in goal, back three of Reece Burke, Lloyd Jones, Corley Gillespie, wing backs of Harry Clark and Luke Chambers. Midfield two of Connor Cody, who's captain this afternoon, and Connor Coventry. And two behind Lyndon Dykes up top is Harvey Nibbs and Jaden Fevrier, as we are back underway for the second half. Swansea shooting from left to right as we commentate, and as you're watching this afternoon with us, also the same position as Swansea, in position with Burgess, and as you were in terms of Swansea's possession, and looking to build up from the back as they go back to Fisher. To the right to Cabango. And back to Fisher as they start again from the back. And Fulton brings it forward. Forward to Timon. Down the line to Cullen, cuts inside. It's actually Volta the substitute. And it's his strike that Kaminski sort of parried away. It was probably could have caught it, but took no chances. And then Lloyd Jones didn't realise he had all the time in the world, and he took no chances even. Heads behind for a Swansea corner.
Yeah, curious that. It was volleyball-esque, like a setup for the slam on a volleyball net from Kaminski. Maybe it was moving around in front of him, and he didn't want to take the chance of trying to grab it. And as you say, Jones tidies up for this corner.
Volta swings it in, headed away by Dykes. Key back towards the sharp penalty area. Volta's first to it, cuts inside. To the 1-2 of Burgess. Coventry with the challenge, comes out. A fierce strike. Kaminski with the save. Volta back across, but he's offside. So play will stop as Renard finishes at the far post.
Yeah, a few Swansea fans didn't realise the flag was up. As, I'm trying to think, we'll see who it was. I think it was who drove it into the net. Ronaldo, I think it was, who drove it into the net, but everybody else had stopped still because the flag had gone up. Whoever it was standing in front of a similar save by Kaminski, again with that sort of forearm block away. Curious.
It's Kaminski with the free kick, goes long. Dykes gets something to it, ball bounces down to Cullen. Goes long. It's a good chase as Burke clears it away. Clark helps it on, Fevrier with the control. Comes down to Cody. It's Franco with the challenge, and breaks down, and Fulton wins the ball back for Swansea.
Yeah, Fevrier and Dykes just got in each other's way there, which is a shame. Charlton looked to be on the break.
Cabango to Burgess. So diagonal ball forward, Ronaldo the target, headed down by Chambers. Nibbs loses out to Ronaldo as Franco steps forward. Nibbs did well to get back, then Cody. Swansea up in the ante a little bit more in the second half as Franco to Fulton, forward to Key, back to Fulton, inside to Cullen, left to Burgess. Charlton will push up as Swansea back inside their own half. Cabango stepping inside and going on a run. To the right to Key, ball's behind him, but Key keeps it in play. Inside to Franco. To Fulton. Cabango now forward out to the right to Franco. Inside is Fulton again, inside the centre circle. Goes forward towards Vipotnik, ball cut out by Gillespie, goes back to Kaminski. Clears it forward. Coventry to Burke. Burke wasn't expecting the ball, and the clearance comes back off Swansea City man is Verbotnik out to the left-hand side. Volta controls, looks up, he's allowed space to do so. Back to Cullen with the strike and headed away by Jones. Could have gone anywhere, but goes out of play for a Swansea corner.
The officials aren't sure whether that was Jones or Verbotnik got his head to that. I think they've just finally decided it is a corner, but yeah, all that because Coventry's ball back to Burke was just not just a little short, far too short. Burke was left in no man's land, got to challenge him, but it ran Swansea's way. Charlton under pressure as a result.
Corner to be taken. By Tyman towards the near post, headed away by Dykes. Ball go out, play again for another Swansea corner. It does. Trying to start the second half a bit slowly here.
Yeah, it was a worked corner. It was two players who were shaped to come short and then caught Charlton off guard as the ball was fizzed into the near post. And Dykes did really well to read it.
Tyman short to Franco, across to Volta. Charlton caught out defensively. The header comes in from Burgess, easily claimed for Kaminski in the end, but it was nicely worked by Swansea, and Charlton were a little bit slow to get out initially. Kaminski rolls it out towards Clark, or throws it too much.
Yeah, Nathan Jones will be a little bit worried about that because twice running from those corner routines, Charlton have been left leaving white shirts in space without checking either their run or their marking. So free header, which Kaminski was really grateful, went straight at him.
Burgess inside to Fulton, who's seen a lot of the ball since coming on in the second half.
Yeah, I think it's much of the same in terms of Swansea's controlled possession, but what they are is just being a little bit quicker once they've got the ball to get it out from their feet and forward. And maybe that's the word coming in from Vita Matos for the second half. He wants his side to just be quicker in possession rather than slow, which Charlton were forcing Swansea to do, in fairness.
Mango through ball looking for Key, cut out by Chambers, and the ball deflects off of Key. Good defending from Chambers. Had a good half for the Addicts, especially towards after maybe the first 20 minutes. Gillespie with the throw. He's down the line. Key gets a touch. Dykes looks for Nibbs. It's a neat ball forward towards Harvey Nibbs, who tried to turn inside. Collision of legs accidental, according to the referee. Play continuous. Nibbs went down to the ground, and Swansea get the ball back.
Yeah, that's a shame, because if he'd looked up, he had Fevrier inside that might have been able to lift it over the top towards him, but just couldn't get the ball down. And then once he let the ball drop, clash of legs stopped it from happening.
Coventry flicks it on, but now the play goes for a Swansea throws. Charlton, as I mentioned at half-time, they do have a bench of attacking talent on the bench to bring on and to try to influence things. We saw Kelman's goal last weekend. He's on the bench today. Miles Lever, Sonny Carey, Ibrahim Fuller, Luke Berry all on the bench for Nathan Jones this afternoon. As Fisher goes long. Burke should win that battle against Volta. Instead he just ducks out the way. Charlton with the throw.
Yeah, Cullen's upset, but he was not Cullen, beg your pardon. Who's that over there? It's
Volta.
It's the sub Volta. Yeah, he was in a no chance situation of trying to beat Burke to the header. Complained he was fouled, but that just wasn't the case. Just wasn't anywhere near big enough or strong enough.
Fulton across to Tyman. Fulton back to Tyman. Charlton push up. Now Cabango under pressure from Nibbs, just caught him. Now space for Key to advance forward beyond Coventry. Gillespie does well to step in and wins the ball back for Charlton, although it deflects neatly for Franco. Now Fulton. Side to Key. From Exeter City man. Across to Fulton again.
Yeah, I think Charlton will just have to try and ride the tide of this fast start that Swansea have made in the second half, and try and quieten both the team and the fans down a bit, because they're reacting to it, the home fans.
Fulton enforced by Fevrier towards Cullen. There's a neat little flick to Franco, and out to left is Volta again. Finland international cuts inside, right-footed ball is too much on that. Charlton will have the goal kick.
Yeah, the Charlton bench just getting together, trying to discuss maybe a way of negating this fast start from the home side. And I think it's just a case of staying strong, not committing yourself too early into the challenge, and trying to keep Swansea away. Easier said than done, obviously.
Ball forward cut out by Fulton. Coventry trying to get there for the Addicts, but the ball deflects off of him, and Swansea at the throw.
That won't help, just giving possession straight back. You know, they've got to find a way of keeping possession for a little bit longer, just to make Swansea a little bit more frustrated. Because once they've got it, they seem in control.
Charlton bench in deep discussion. Nathan Jones, Curtis Fleming and Danny Hilton. Imagine changes are potentially incoming. Happy birthday to Stephen Henderson, by the way.
Oh, indeed, of course.
He shares it with another Charlton associate and Charlton legend in Keith Peacock.
Oh, wow. What a birthday to share.
So, ball forward by Fisher, finds Fulton out to the right to Key. Side to Fulton, who looks forward and has got plenty of time to do so as Volta to the right to Key. Back to Volta again. Coventry close by as Volta just looks for half a yard of space out to the right to Key. Now Franco. Ball looking for Ronaldo, just put too much on it. The idea was right. The movement was good, just slightly overhit. Charlton have the goal kick.
But that's okay. I mean, well, it's not okay because we're conceding possession, but just tightening up that space, not diving in, just stopping Swansea from picking balls behind us. I think Charlton will be quite happy with, because that ball would have had to be absolutely spot on for Ronaldo to get to the end of it, but it wasn't.
Jones out to the right to Burke. Right to Clark, who can't keep it in. Swansea with the throw. Throws back. Swansea. Again, just dominating possession here. Back to Cabango. It's a heavy touch, and challenge goes in for Coventry. Now Dykes to the ball forward. Harvey Nibbs on the left-hand side. Swansea got bodies back, one of which being Franco. Just nibbling at the heels of Nibbs, and does superbly well to win the ball back, Franco. Swansea can advance. Key's just down on the ground at the moment, off the ball. There's Burgess inside to Fulton.
Yeah, it's just a little shame that somebody with a little bit more pace than Nibbs on that break, because two Swansea players were able to get back fairly quickly at him and close the space down. It's potentially a good break, falling otherwise.
Still Nathan Jones, Danny Hilton and Curtis Fleming in very deep discussion.
Well, obviously Sonny Carey, Nibbs has had as we said earlier on, has had a season that has been beset by injury, so he's still trying to get up to speed. His case in point there, as he couldn't pursue that ball forward.
Seeing 3 Charlton changes here. Certainly 2 look like they're getting no. It will be. Looks like 3. We'll come to those shortly as Nibbs dives into the challenge of Burgess, just catches him late. And Swansea will have the free kick.
Nibbs was a little late, but he came off worse.
Carey, Lieber and Rankin Costello are the 3 being prepared.
Burgess giving it to Nibbs. I don't think Nibbs' challenge was dangerous.
Nibbs is back to his feet.
A boot in the head for his troubles.
Played 58 minutes, still 0-0 here.
But you're right, there are 3 changes coming.
Looking to fresh legs, to potentially having him put into this game. At the moment, Swansea are comfortable in possession, albeit not doing a lot with it at the moment. As Burgess side to Fulton, trying to press on this occasion. Cabango, now Fulton out to the right to Key. And the space opens up for Potnick, makes a little run inside. It's a decent run for Potnick, controls. We're back heel looking for Franco, who's been wiped out by Cody. Play continues as Cullen out to left to Timon, who strikes. It's blocked by Chambers. Cullen lays it off Fulton will go for goal from range, but I think Swansea will question why there wasn't a foul.
I expected the whistle to blow for that, I've got to be honest. And I thought then that the referee would wave play on, but he didn't either. He clearly didn't think it was a foul, but I have to say on first viewing, I wouldn't have been surprised if he'd given that.
Well, here come the changes for the Addicts. Let's see who's coming on. Frankie Costello's the first to do so. Jaden Fevrier will make way. For his last appearance in a Charlton shirt, he's certainly proud of the way he's finished his season here at Charlton. On loan from Stockport, of course, he'll go back to Stockport in the summer. Wait and see where his future lies. As he gives the travelling support a round of applause. Frankie Costello is on.
Nibs in a more central role.
Reece Burke's the next one to make way, so an attacking sub this for Charlton. Leeburn is on for Burke. No Colin Sechenche in the Charlton squad today for injury. Kane Ramsey is back on the bench after his hamstring problems. Connor Cody is the last one to make way. He's given the captain's armband today. Again, another player. This is his last contribution, the last piece of action in a Charlton shirt.
What are we thinking? Clark back to the right-sided centre-off, or change it to a 4 at the back?
It's going to change the formation, but then
Clark and Chambers left and right.
Maybe a diamond, dare I say?
Yeah, because Liebman's obviously up top with Dykes. We've got Nibs dropping in a more central midfield role, and Carey obviously in his normal position. So
it looks like a diamond for Charlton. This Coventry at the base, Frankie Costello right-hand side, Carey left-hand side, Nibs behind Dykes and Liebman. So attacking. It's a slightly different change for Charlton. This is Frankie Costello is immediately in the game. Dykes heads it on, was taken out as the ball forward. Frankie Costello looks for Leeburn in the penalty. Leeburn ball across, cut out by Burgess. The Charlton subs immediately into the game, and the Addicts have a corner.
Instant impact. Frankie Costello picked up the ball, looked up, took his time. Lovely run from Leeburn. Ball into his space. Probably would have liked it a little bit more central because it forced him out wide a bit. But again, Leeburn took his time, looked up, was aiming for 2 or 3 Charlton shirts that were heading into the box, but cut out before he could find them.
Chambers comes across to take the corner for Charlton as we played 61 minutes. Charlton with attack and subs and looking to try and get a goal here. Chambers swings it in. Decent looking delivery. Leeburn gets ahead to it.
Tell you what, he's having his shirt pulled up his back as he tried to get there as well. But, no complaints from Charlton striker.
Ball went comfortably wide. It's a decent ball in though from Chambers, and yeah, there was contact on the shirt. Swansea took a slight risk passing out from the back, but get away with it. It's time his ball forward is gathered by Coventry inside to Lloyd Jones, back to Gillespie, across to Chambers. Looks forward. Dykes makes a runs inside. It's a decent looking ball from Chambers up towards Dykes. The controls and has been taken out by Cabango on the edge of, towards the edge of the penalty area.
Well, I've got to say, since those changes, really positive ones from Charlton, the Addicts have put Swansea under pressure for the first time in the second half.
Yeah, well, a diamond formation was what Nathan Jones used at Luton originally before they got promoted to the Championship. It's a formation that he's not had a chance to use a lot of since being in charge of the Addicts. Maybe thinks he's got the right personnel available to him today to do so.
We've got 4 candidates for this free kick, all standing over the wall, having a discussion as to whose it could be. Chambers has just peeled away, so it leaves 3. And you fancy Gillespie with his left?
It's either going to be Nibs, Gillespie or Carey. You'd say it definitely suits a right footer.
You'd have thought so. Although the keeper's going to move across to his left, to the right as we look, so that does leave a gap on that left-hand side if Gillespie fancies it.
Frankie Costello looks like he's joined the conversation as well, just something to Harvey Nibs. Just see what Charlton do here.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the position of Dykes, because if this goes in, he could be accused of blocking the goalkeeper's view, and he's in an offside position. So
he'll move before the free kick's taken, I imagine. Just blocking the goalkeeper's view at this moment in time. could be Nibs. We'll wait and see. Referee blows his whistle. Gillespie back heels it to Sonny Carey. He'll strike and it's over the bar.
Well, that was a nice idea. I think that back heel from Gillespie just sent Carey a little bit too far right, and he couldn't get round it like he'd liked. And couldn't get the purchase on it to send it goalwards. Harmlessly in the end over the bar, and Swansea will make a change.
Yeah, you're right. Just dragged it slightly further back. Carey made his run and had to come across the ball a little bit more, leaning back. As Liam Cullen comes off for Swansea, they're going to make an attacking change as well. Adam Eder is coming on. He scored at the Valley in November. Looks like Swansea could be changing formations, maybe a 4-4-2 for them. As Eder goes straight up top with Vopotnik.
Well, at the moment they've got 4 up front.
Goal kick's taken. Fisher short to Fulton. Back to Cabango. Clears it forward. Eder the target. As Gillespie heads it away. Carey helps it on. Key gets to touch the ball. Drops for Dykes. The space is opening up here for Charlton as Carey down the line to Nibs. Nibs, left-footed ball in the box. Cut out by Fulton. He's back with Key, and now Swansea will look to turn and go forward as Key's got space to do so. Across is Vopotnik.
Lots of white shirts available here.
Further left. The ball will come. Volta. Back to Vopotnik. Dykes does well to come back and apply pressure. The ball's deflected neatly for Volta, who turns out to Timon. Low ball in, comes off of Clark, and Swansea out the corner.
Well, that's frustrating because Dykes did superbly well to get back and nullify, well, he thought nullify the threat and took the ball off the Swansea man's toes, but it, as you said, ran really kindly for Swansea. That results in this corner.
It's about to be taken. Charlton with everyone back. Now the threat of Eder as well. Swansea from this corner. Volta swings it in. Dykes helps it on. Comes out to Ronaldo on the right hand side. To take on Carey. So back to Key. Across to Timon. Tries a shoot. He does so. Ball bounces up for Kaminsky, watches all the way and gathers comfortably in the end.
Just worried that he was going to do the forearm block again. The way Kaminsky went down, but he caught it.
Kaminsky with the long ball forward. Dykes bumbles into Burgess late, and that's a foul. Could be a little bit more for Lyndon Dykes.
It's necessary as well because that header from Burgess was going nowhere. Dykes didn't need the late challenge. I mean, it wasn't a horrible one, it was just leaned into him, but the ball was dropping kindly for Nibs, and Charlton could have sprung away from there.
Cabango with the free kick, or Burgess with the free kick, shall I say. Inside to Cabango. And this is Burgess once more as Charlton try and push up. Timon inside to Fulton. Forward to Eder. Now Franco to Cabango. Down the line, cut out by Chambers. So to Coventry, turns and looks forward. Frankie Costello's there. Ball forward looking for Leeburn. Can he keep it in, Miles Leeburn? He can. On the left-hand side, he's onside. Carey's close by if he wants to use him. Here's Sonny Carey in the box. Carey turns and shoots, deflects behind Charlton corner, and he'll do so. Hand over to Terry Smith to lead commentator for the rest of the second half.
Cheers, Greg. Yeah, good move from Charlton. Good possession, good battling to maintain possession. And then excellent work from Leeburn to catch up with that ball from Rankin Costello to result in this corner. Athletics certainly more of a threat since those substitutions. And one of them, Sonny Carey, is going to take this corner from the Charlton left-hand side. Swung in deep to the 6-yard box. Keeper comes, gets something on it. Runs it to Clark, who lifts it back inside and into the centre circle, and Coventry is going to have to wait for Charlton players to get onside. Now swings it across to Leeburn. Gets his head there, but he can't direct it back across goal. And it goes out in the end harmlessly for a goal kick. 68.5 minutes gone, goalless here at the Swansea.com stadium. Charlton, after a nervy opening, I don't know, 25 minutes or so, they've certainly offered more of a threat since the substitutions.
Yeah, definitely, and it forced Swansea into a change themselves, which I don't think they've quite settled since that. Swansea, but they do have the 2 strikers now. For Botnick, you imagine will drop deeper. Ida runs off the shoulder a little bit, with a little bit more pace. But they just, I felt like before that Swansea were dominating the midfield in terms of possession. Franco, I think, has been the best player on the pitch today.
Sorry, there's Swansea doing exactly what they've done most of the game, and you say Botnick coming short. Fede Franco just got pushed to the ground by Coventry in the most unsubtle fashion possibly. And then Swansea try and move forward, but Ronaldo is comfortably offside, and then Coventry getting a bit of a telling off by the referee. As I say, it was actually it might have been Volta who he pushed over.
Yeah, I wonder how long Harvey Nibbs has got till. He's obviously not played a lot of football. You've got Luke Berry on the bench, I imagine, will come on at some stage.
Maybe Fuller would quite be happy in that little number 10 role.
I think Berry will get a chance today. I think this could well be his last game. We don't know for sure, but he's out of contract in the summer, hasn't played a lot of football the second half of the season.
Leeburn, good flick on, and it's found Dykes, who did well to get on the end of it, trying to get it back to Carey, but he was surrounded by white shirts. Couldn't find that out ball. Yeah, Swansea throw on their right-hand side. And it does look like there is movement from the Charlton bench. Fourth official's just been notified. He's looking to see down on the bench. Can't see any activity, but certainly the fourth official's waiting for the sign as Swansea send it forward. Gillespie comes and meets it, heads it towards Dykes, who does well to keep it in. Lyndon Dykes down the left-hand side. Can he get a corner off of this? He's looking for it, but Key steps in front and gets the ball away. Up to Ronaldo. To his right-hand side now. Franco through the middle to Verbotnik. Control into Ida. Back to Ronaldo once more, who sends it left. Well, initially he was looking for Timon, but it'll be picked up on that left-hand side. Walter inside to Fulton. Nibbs, little touch to get the ball away from him, and Coventry then caught in possession by Fulton. Tried to find Chambers, can't do so, and Ida will get it out to Ronaldo. Gets his shot away, but comfortably wide of the post. But there may be some retribution here, because there was a little late challenge coming in on Franco. The referee's he's not going to produce any cards. Maybe he felt that Franco overplayed it a little. Charlton will have a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a let-off because the ball comes to Ronaldo, and he doesn't need me saying he needs to hit the target there. That's a chance, because Chambers come out of position where he's tried to close down. Franco does wipe him out. And it just leaves that gap for Ronaldo. Just is leaning back slightly, catches it outside of foot over the bar.
I think you call this Mr. Stubley. It will be Berry to come on. Charlton trying to come forward. Lose possession though, and Ronaldo will try and tee up Ida. He's being pursued by Jones. Got a whole chunk of his shirt, so there'll be a free kick incoming here. And Jones might find himself in the book, but the referee's playing on quite incredibly. Charlton get possession back. Rankin Costello trying to find Nibbs, but it's cut out by Fulton. Fulton, ball to the edge, and Ronaldo coming beyond Jones again. This time backwards to Timon. There'll be quite a loud chorus of boos if this move comes to nothing. As the ball is back out to Ida on the right-hand side. Has to go back inside to Fulton. Very waiting patiently on the sideline to come on.
It's just getting a little bit hostile here. There's an exchange between the benches again. Danny Hilton involved in deep conversation, assistant referee. I mean, it was a definite foul that should have been given against Lloyd Jones, no question about it, but play continues.
It's on the left with Key. Volta trying to send Timon on his way. He does. Corner of the penalty area. Back inside to Key. Chip inside to Volta again. Now trying to cross it, does so. Jones with a clearance away, but only as far as Timon. Back out to Volta on the left-hand side. Volta swings the ball in. Gillespie with a header away. It's a good header as well, but Coventry can't claim it. Fulton edge of the area, trying to tee up Volta on the left. Charlton claiming an offside, and it looked like it might have been, but nothing from the official. As Volta gets the ball back to Timon. Held up by Rankin Costello. Across to Franco. Franco back out to Key. Key bringing it infield. Thought about a shot. It's Fulton, in fact, a big pun. Key stayed out left. Fulton now finds Timon. Timon out to the Key once more. Back across the penalty area. Shot comes in. Ida with the goal.
Yeah, that's poor from Charlton. It's a great finish from Ida, the substitute, but it's a bit of lazy defending from the Addicts. I think it may have been Dykes who's playing up top with Lieber, and Key just runs off the shoulder of him. He's a little bit late getting back to him. It's a nice patient build-up from Timon and a lovely through ball to find Key. But they just don't track back, Charlton. Key's able to get that ball across to Ida. It's a brilliant finish. Robotnik had a similar chance in the first half, which he scuffed. This time from Ida, he makes no mistake. And Swansea take the lead.
Yeah, it's a shame because that change is being made as Nibs comes off and Berry comes on. It's a shame because Charlton looked like they'd ridden the pressure from the home side and looked like they were adding pressure of their own with the substitutions. And it's a Swansea sub that pops up with a goal. And, there's additional changes coming on here for Swansea. You can see Ward and I think that's Woodward, the two players coming on.
And that's the risk of a diamond, is that it allows opposition fullbacks to push on a lot, because the Charlton fullbacks are going to be occupied with the wingers of Swansea, and Key needs to be tracked. He really does. If Dykes takes another 5 yards back, Key doesn't get that ball, the goal doesn't happen. It doesn't take a lot. But in fairness to Dykes, he's more used to being up the other end of the pitch. Usually we're playing one or two up top in the back five. You don't need to track back like that, but it allows Key that space. It's a neat ball inside.
Well, we restart before the Swansea changes can be made. Ball forward, Lieber flicks it on, trying to find Berry. It's cleared away. Gillespie underneath it towards Lieber once more, and Dykes is there, but Swansea pick it up. Carey can't get there, but Chambers does. Now Carey, little ball back to Coventry. Good ball forward to Berry. Out to Dykes, left-hand side of the penalty area. Trying to get the ball across, blocked away. And it'll be a throw-in right by the corner flag.
Yeah, as mentioned, Berry coming on for Nibs. One thing Berry will give you is that intelligence, the experience. He'll really relish playing just off the front to give him that freedom, especially now we're looking for a goal back. We'll just occupy that bit of pocket of space, try and win the second balls when they get flicked on.
Well, Charlton are going to go for it as well, because Kelman's preparing to come on. As Clark prepares to take this throw, launches it into the penalty area. Liebman gets there, gets a flick on the far side of the 6-yard box. Dykes just can't get there, and it goes away for the goal kick.
One thing about Swansea today, I think defending set pieces, they've just not looked convincing. I think as an outfit, they look good. They look tired in possession. Maybe take one too many passes, but when balls come in their box, they don't look convincing.
Well, Robotnik's coming off for Woodward.
First his debut, Woodward.
And also coming off, we're just looking at the number. Is that Key coming off? Yes, it is. So Josh Key, the other change, going off, and coming on will be Joel Ward. Just looking to say the Charlton change, and it will be Lyndon Dykes to make way for Charlie Kelman.
Yeah, a little bit apologetic there, Dykes, towards the Charlton bench.
Well, he was agonisingly close to that nod across from Liban.
Yeah, it's a shame we won't get to see Ibiphil. I'd like to have seen a little cameo for him today, but
yeah, agreed.
Like I can completely understand Kelman coming on right now. I think that is the right decision. I think Kelman be hungry for another goal after his wonder strike last week.
Jones does well with the header from the goal kick. Liban equally well with a touch left to Carey, up to Kelman on the left-hand side. Ball into the box, cleared away as Berry hunted it down. Burgess with the ball up in the air. Swansea just about managed to get it clear, but it'll be picked up by Chambers on this left-hand side for Charlton. Good ball from Gillespie in towards Carey. Carey in central position, out to Rankin Costello. Tees up Liban on the right. Liban with the ball across. Oh, squirms across the 6-yard box. And coming in is Chambers. And his efforts blocked away by Burgess for the corner.
Yeah, it's a good ball in. I don't think Gillespie meant it to go to where it did for Carey, but it worked out nicely because the ball from Gillespie meant that Carey could just take that extra touch inside and drift forward. Neat ball from Rankin Costello down the line to Liban. It was a good low ball in, but I just actually wonder, there was a couple of players just held their run towards the edge of the 6-yard box. I wonder if he could have just cut it back, but in fairness, it was a wonderful ball in. And what good defending at far post denies Chambers.
Carey with the corner. Lieber with a header, and he scores for Charlton. Glorious header from the Charlton substitute. Corner from Carey. Lieber made the move across the edge of the 6-yard box, and he heads it home.
Brilliant header from Lieber. I think he's looked sharp since coming on. But I spoke about Swansea's vulnerabilities from set pieces still. I don't think they've defended long throws well. I don't think they've particularly defended corners well. And that's another example. Wonderful ball in for Carey with pace. Says go and attack it. And Lieber does. He gets that half a yard of space. Can he just hit the target? And he certainly does so. Just holds his ground. There's a block in there from Ranky Costello perhaps. But he just holds his ground in a wonderful header edge of the 6-yard box. No chance for Fisher. And Miles Lieben's back on the score sheet for Charlton as we're level.
Quality finish from Lieber. Berry with a head on, looking for Kelman as the restart goes Charlton's way, as does the throw-in. Carey looked to go quick, but nobody quite on the same wavelength, so he'll wait for Chambers to come forward to take this throw. Super response from Charlton.
To be honest, with the exception of the goal we conceded, which was poor, and it was an individual mistake not tracking back, I think we look good going forward. We certainly look more aggressive. We've had a little bit more of the ball, and I feel like we look more like we're going to score goals, not just from set pieces. Even though we just scored one there from Lieber, and it looks like we're causing trouble for Swansea, not quite adjusted accordingly, and certainly not having as much possession.
Charlton have possession back. Gillespie finds Carey into the centre as Rankin Costello. Ball back to Jones, has sent him scampering backwards, so they'll have to use Kaminski. He's under pressure here. Releases Gillespie, who's equally under pressure. And he's get across to Jones on the right-hand side. Ball forward to Coventry. Out to Clark. Lovely ball forward to Berry, who's got time and space to turn. Out to Clark again, who continued his run. Stopped in his tracks, though, by Fulton, who will bring the ball forward for Swansea.
Trouble here.
Out to the left-hand side. Ball into the box. Oh, and it's taken a deflection, the Eder shot, and gone in. And that's cruel from Charlton. From the moment we were going forward, Clark got stopped in his tracks by Fulton. The out ball was clever, out to the left-hand side. And then the cross ball across from Simon, I think it was, found Eder. His shot deflected in beyond Kaminski, who stood no chance with it.
Yeah, that's the reason I said trouble here, because the turnover, the time and drifting forward, Charlton just caught out. There wasn't enough players back. Chambers was out of position at left back. Clark had just been challenged out of position on the right back. So essentially you had your two centre-halves, Coventry and then Ranky Costello trying to get back. It was 3-on-2 at one point. And Eder has so much space in the penalty here as the ball comes across. And this time, catches it well, but it looks like he's probably going straight towards Kaminski. Takes that slight deflection beyond the goalkeeper, and Charlton in their efforts to try and go and get the winner have just been caught out on the counter-attack. And again, talk about the formation we're playing, that is again something that Diamond can do. It can leave you a bit vulnerable defensively.
Well, Charlton restart back to Kaminski, who sends it forward, looking for Lieber. Tussling with Cabango, brings him down. Referee plays on as the ball goes out of play for a Charlton throw. There might be some afters with Lieber and Cabango in a second, because Lieber felt he was fouled there. Carey takes the throw towards Kelman. Little touch back to Berry. Now Lieber. Lovely footwork from Lieber, releases Kelman into the penalty area. Ball across! Rankin Costello got there, but he couldn't turn it home. Out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Kelman's enjoyed that left-hand channel so far. That's the second time he's been released down there. This time, good work from Lieber. Lieber's looked really impressive since coming on.
We may not have seen the end of scoring here.
No, I mean, well, credit to both benches. In fairness, they've both gone for it. You know, it's just been a bit of two bits of good finishing from Eder. The second one's a little bit more fortunate, and two bits of bad defending from Charlton, you'd say. But certainly the game as a spectacle's been more enjoyable. But Charlton, in their credit, are still going for it here. You can't blame them at all at this stage of the season.
Jones looked like he was impeded as he tried to get to that ball. Referee says play on as Fulton gets his head to it. Coventry with a foot in, but Swansea have possession back. It's a good tackle from Coventry. Oh, no. Referee took his time and I think, I wouldn't say bottled it, but I think took the easy route with that decision as Franco was on the floor. It'll be a free kick to Swansea.
Yeah, Franco, as I said earlier, he's one of those players you'd love to have on your side. He knows how to win free kicks. He bothers you. I like players who bother me.
It's just the reaction from the referee, because he wasn't going to give that, and then decided, oh, okay, then I will. Swansea taking the free kick.
It wasn't a foul. He bought it. It was a good challenge from Coventry, but Franco made it look like he came through Franco to win the ball.
2-1 here at the Swansea.com stadium. It's Swansea in possession with a throw on their left-hand side. Swansea go backwards. It's with Burgess who fizzed it back to his keeper, who has to get it clear fairly quickly. Ronaldo with the header inside, picked up by Gillespie. Lovely touch to Carey. He's going to be under pressure. That should be a foul from Franco, and it is. Charlton have a free kick. Some interesting scores around. I'm not going to say anything just because we're recording it, but interesting scores around the rest of the division. As Rankin Costello loses out an aerial challenge, and Swansea have it. Bring it forward with Walter still bringing it forward to his left-hand side as time, and ball across the box, blocked away by Clark. It'll be a corner to Swansea on their left-hand side. Still waiting for this corner to be taken. Come in as a header comes in, drops into the 6-yard box. Leeburn clears it away to the right-hand side, and Ronaldo. It's a good foot in from Chambers, from Coventry rather, to clear it away. Swansea throw halfway inside the Charlton half on the right. Carey though picks it up for Charlton. Forced backwards to Gillespie, clears away straight to Franco. Coventry trying to wrestle possession back for Charlton, but the ball's infield. Picked up. That's a great tackle from well, initially a great tackle from Gillespie, but again I think Ronaldo's won that. It was a second good challenge from Ward to win it back to Swansea, and then Ronaldo picked possession up and just immediately thought of going over. It'll be a free kick to Swansea. How much contact there was with Coventry, I think amounts to almost zero.
Yeah, I thought that one was a foul. I thought it was just a little bit desperate for Coventry trying to win the ball back and bringing him down. So I'm just trying to win the ball back quickly and get it further downfield as quick as possible. Just coming up to 88 minutes gone, and I've just seen the Ipswich score, so I'm happy.
Yes. I didn't want to just sort of burst anybody's bubble just because I want to watch it, the goals later, without knowing what's going on, because some people do. But it's changing constantly. That well, certainly sort of third and below.
Yeah, I was going to say the
second hasn't.
The second hasn't changed, just to not concern people who are aware of the scores.
We're going to wait now as Swansea prepare to take this free kick. It's in, and it's in off the post. Walter with the goal. Kaminsky rooted to the spot. In off the post. And it's 3-1 to Swansea.
That's an outstanding free kick. The moment it hit his boot, you hear the woof sound around us, and that's because there was no chance of Kaminsky with that. Off the inside of the post. Outstanding technique from Walter, the substitute. And it's just a sign of the difference in quality. We had a free kick in a very similar position, and we tried to be a little bit clever, and Carey placed it over the bar. That from Walter. No one else round it. Wall didn't have I think the ball may even have jumped. It was dipped underneath the crossbar, hits the inside of the post.
There's
An outstanding goal.
More collective oohs as the goal shown on the replay as Charlton come forward. Kelman trying to pick out Carey, but he can't. Swansea have it back. 88th minute, 3-1 to the home side. Puts a little bit of a slant on the scoreline. Charlton certainly made, since the substitutions, made a real attacking fist of this game, but ultimately come unstuck.
I mean, this goes out saying that second goal was a real killer, because we just got the equaliser. I thought we were looking really dangerous going forward, playing some good stuff. And then just suddenly it was just that mistake from, or the loose ball from Clark, and then they just advanced so quickly, Swansea. Charlton were caught out.
Swansea have possession back, and they work it back to Fisher, edge of his 6-yard box. Sends it to the right-hand side, looking for Ward. It's gone beyond him. He just managed to get his head to it, in fairness. And Gillespie loses out in the challenge to Ronaldo. Sends Woodward away down the right-hand side. Woodward towards the penalty area, gets in, tries to get a shot away. Jones, comfortable block, but it will be a corner. Just waiting for the added time from the fourth official. 6 minutes of added time, 6 minutes left of this championship season for both sides.
The fourth official indicating a minimum of 6 added minutes at the end of the second half. 6 minutes.
It's Timon going across to take this corner. Corner comes in, deep one, across the 6-yard box. There's multiple players go up for this, and there's an overhead kick from Ida. Can't keep it down, and 2 Swansea players remain on the floor. There's a host of players jumped for that corner, and 2 of the Swansea players ended up in a heap. One of them was Burgess. Can't see who the other one is momentarily. Well be Ward, but I can't really tell from this direction. No, it isn't. It's not Ward. I can just see him, so I'm not entirely sure who the remaining Swansea player is on the floor, but it's receiving close attention from the physios. I think it might be Fulton, actually.
It's a good time Swansea just receiving this treatment. I've been told the Charlton women game, it's kids on 3 o'clock, I believe. That's available to stream online on YouTube.
Splendid news.
So anyone who wants to watch more football after this, please do so. A point would be good enough for promotion.
Unless you can get yourself down to the Valley, because I'm sure they'll appreciate it. It's going to be the highest crowd for some considerable time down at the Valley for a women's game. It's sold somewhere in the region of 2,500 tickets, so could be closer to 3. Get down there, increase the atmosphere, maybe push Charlton women on their way to the Championship.
Well, Super League too.
Indeed. No, to Champions, I should have said. I beg your pardon. We're all it was Fulton. He's back up and in position. I'm not sure why he didn't have to go off, actually, because Clark had to go off in the first half. I'm not sure. I don't quite grasp the intricacies of that. We restart. Ida with the touch inside. Gillespie can't get there, and it's Woodward and Ronaldo down this right-hand side. There's Ronaldo up against Chambers. Sets Woodward into the box, and it needs a Gillespie block away for a corner. Charlton players are asking a similar question as to why he didn't go off. Because Clark was certainly forced off in that first half, and I've seen it happen once or twice already this season. Maybe it's because the referee doesn't deem there's an injury, so it puts him off just to prove a point. And that certainly was an injury on Fulton, and maybe those are the subtle differences.
That's a Charlton leave someone forward here. 3-1 down.
That's a short corner. It's worked out here to Volta. Back out to Timon. Ball into the box. Takes a deflection. 2, in fact, and across. And it might be another corner, and it is.
Timon's got a wonderful left foot, hasn't he? Really, really wicked ball into the box. He's put a couple in. Saw similar with Giles last week at his Hull. ability just to wrap around it. Wonderful ball. It took 2 deflections, as you say, Tel, en route. Again, there's good learning experiences for Charlton. We can, I don't want to say relax, it's not the fair word. We haven't relaxed at all today, and you don't want to lose games of football. But
corner comes in. Jones with the header away. It's going to drop Woodward's way, but it's a good block from Coventry. Can Rankin Costello get there? He can't. And run away for a throw-in on this right-hand side.
The point I was going to make is you see a team like Swansea that are outside the playoffs, but this is a different Swansea side to the one we faced in November. You can see the improvements they've made as a team. You know, it could just be a managerial change or whatever, but I think as players they look different. They look more aggressive when they lose the ball. I think what Charlton can learn from this is how can we influence games more? How can we control possession more? How can we wear down teams a little bit more?
Well, we're a minute and a half away from the end of the 6 minutes of added. Ward takes the throw in into Woodward, back to Ward on this right-hand touchline. Little ball inside is going to be picked off though by Gillespie, who sends it forward towards Kelman. Flicks it inside with his head, looking for Lieburn, but can't find him. It had sent forward, but Gillespie calmly heads it back to Kaminsky. Thought about rolling out to Coventry and then realised that far too many white shirts around, so instead rolls it to Jones, to Clark, inside to Coventry. Send it forward. Kelman with a good run into that right-hand channel. Gets the ball as well. Just took a deflection off of Burgess to allow Swansea to get possession back. And to Ronald, little flick round the corner, but Chambers read that well. Gets the ball inside to Gillespie. Combines with Carey, back out to Chambers. Lovely ball back into Carey's path. He'll come forward now, Sonny Carey. Got Kelman through the middle. Berry's there as well. Berry, little reverse ball back to Lieburn. Can he get a shot away? Lieburn, he can. Blocked though by Burgess. Good move from Charlton. A block from Swansea. Man, Burgess did enough. And they had possession back on that left-hand side with Volta. Back to Burgess again. It's Timon, in fact, I beg his pardon. Timon rides the challenge from Berry inside to Franco. Again goes down. Maybe a little bit easily, and it could be. Well, I thought there might be a booking in here as Rankin Costello just in frustration took the shot anyway, but I think the referee, end of season, already over the allotted time, stays with no yellow cards whatsoever in the game.
He doesn't want to do the paperwork.
No, clearly not.
He's going on his holidays and who can blame him, but yeah, that's a shame because there was a neat build-up before that where Carey was released neatly by Chambers, ball over to Berry was good, lovely turn, reverse ball to Lieburn, and again this has happened a couple of times with Miles where he gets the ball and thinks he needs to drive it across. If you just pull that back, you've got players in the edge of the penalty area. The 2 goals Swansea scored from similar positions, ball to the edge of penalty area and goals.
Well, there is the final whistle, and players and coaching staff alike, they may have been at each other for most of the game, but it's all friendship and hugs and handshakes, both on the pitch and to the side of it, as we bring the championship season to a close. Goals initially from Ida on 74 minutes. Great response from Charlton after bringing on subs. And Lieburn got his headed equaliser on 79, but then the second from Ida and the final run for the free kick from Volta tied up the game in Swansea's favour to win 3-1. But the story of Charlton's season isn't this afternoon. It's the success of making sure we have championship football next season as well. Superbly supported away to our left-hand side by the 2,000 travelling addicts. And your thoughts on this game, finally, Greg Stubley, and the season itself?
Well, the season itself, mission accomplished in terms of staying up. You know, we know I think 2026 as a whole has been a little bit more disappointing, especially after our fast start and you know some of the results we had early in the season. But it was all about staying up after that, especially after say that Millwall game, got a vital win against Leicester. And ever since then, really, it felt like that we were crawling over the line a little bit. Made some improvements in January just to get that experience, those experienced heads to get us over the line, and when we've done that, the performance today kind of reflects the season for me in terms of there's no question about work rate, effort, but just that little bit of lack of quality at times. We played some neat stuff, especially in the second half. I thought the changes from an attacking point of view, we could maybe left us a little bit more defensively vulnerable, but we were going for the equaliser and then the win after that. And I think as Charlton fans, we can appreciate that today, especially given it was the last game of the season. What we want to see now in the summer, Tel, is can we sign those 2 or 3 players, maybe more, but certainly I'm looking at 3 or 4 real key players that will have the quality that can just take Charlton to the next level. And what I mean by that is just making sure that we don't have to worry about what's below us. We don't have to be dragged into a relegation battle. And I'm sure with the right recruitment that Charlton will have a much more calm season next year and come to places like Swansea and really compete for 90 minutes.
Well, I concur with that, and Charlton players going across to the visiting support to thank them for not just the support today, but the incredible support all season. And it just remains for me to thank Gabby in production, everybody who's been in production all season. It's been a pleasure. My thanks, of course, to Steve Brown, who's not here. And thanks, Brownie, for everything and all your contributions this season. Of course, my thanks to the legend beside me, Mr. Greg Stubley, for what's been, all in all, a great season, because we remain in the Championship. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Tel. Pleasure as always, and thank you, everyone, for your contributions and tuning in for the season. Look forward to enjoying the summer. Hopefully, England can bring it home in the World Cup. Hopefully, the Charlton women's side this afternoon can get promoted as well, and that will conclude what's been a very successful season for Charlton as a football club moving forward. But yeah, fingers crossed, Tel, that going forward we'll have a very enjoyable summer and season next year. So hope everyone enjoys the summers, and we'll see you next season.
Here, and so yeah, I echo that. My thanks to everybody for watching and listening to Charlton TV's productions throughout this season. It's been an absolute pleasure to do so, more so because we know we're going to be playing in the Championship next season. Enjoy your summer, wherever you are, wherever you go, whatever you're doing. Have a great time, and we look forward to your company back in the Championship next season.
See you at Tottenham.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.